So I hopped into another 8-man. We're on the play. Hand's great. Doesn't get much better than this. Got some resiliency, got a Thoughtseize, got a mana accelerator, pretty good mana. Short on a land. Wayfinder's worth keeping, since it's a land and either an attacker or a blocker. And our opponent could be playing green-white beatdown. It's kind of what it looks like. It could also be Abzan aggro, but plan is to go Caryatid here, Wayfinder maybe into a tap land, and Thoughtseize. Alternatively, we could just play Death Mist Raptor if we draw a tap land. All depends on what our draw step is and what our opponent plays. But we got some options. So it does look like Abzan aggro. And we are not blocking. Because otherwise our little tree plant thing would just die. And he's spending his turn to just pump his thing, which is good for us. So we didn't hit a land, so we really want to make our land drop, especially since we drew a Rhino. So I like Wayfinder here into the Citadel, and then just casting Thoughtseize. And maybe take a removal spell or something like an Anafenza. So Siege Rhino, Downfall, Thoughtseize, and some lands. Not too concerned with the Rhino or the Thoughtseize, so I think I just want to take the Downfall. And then whatever our opponent Thoughtseizes doesn't really matter all that much. Since we have Den Protector to get back whatever, given enough time. And I'm just going to take this hit, I think. Should be able to chump later. Well, okay, he's playing Thoughtseize. If he was going to play like a Death Dealer or Lion or something, then I wouldn't be able to attack, but if I just get to play Rhino, then I'd rather attack. I took my Den Protector. Okay, kind of makes sense. Rhino's the more immediate threat, but Den Protector is a threat going long. So we get in our 1 point. Our opponent's kind of low. And then we get to Rhino to put them even lower. Give us a nice little buffer. So opponent can play Rhino this turn, but can't really attack. So we have a decent amount of time here. And he just plays Rhino. Maybe we just kill his Rhino and attack with ours. That's what it's looking like. There is kind of this fear that Warden in the first tree gets out of control, but I think he's probably going to be dead before then. Maybe not, though. So he goes to 9, gives it lifelink, goes back up to 12. Or probably 11, because he might have to take a point to do that. So yeah, maybe killing the Rhino was bad. Maybe we just lose to this Warden, actually. And maybe I should Chumple Caryatid there. I don't know. Yeah, probably should have just settled in for a longer game and killed the Warden. It's going to be kind of awkward if I just lose to that thing. Not sure what's really happening right now. Not sure why they took an extra point of damage. I accept. Yeah, now we actually need to peel, because we're stupid. Easily could have dealt with that Rhino just sitting back. Kind of forgot about the lifelink on the first thing. This is only 5, right? Oh, it is 6. Okay. So I actually have to hit an untapped land. Which might not happen. And yeah, doesn't look like it's happening. So, alright. We got kind of lucky there. He just ended up drawing some 2-mana duders. No, drew an Anafenza. Well, that's unfortunate. So now we go attack. Forces him to put like Lion here and Anafenza here. Or trade away the Warden. That's beautiful. Okay, I got some packs. That's great. So do we want to kill this Fleece Mane or do we want to kill this Anafenza? I think we want to kill the Lion. Anafenza's kind of a beat against any like self-mill stuff that I draw, but it's only a 4/4. I think we can beat that pretty easily as opposed to a 4/4 hexproof indestructible. So yeah, I think we just killed the Lion. Alright, now it's Anafenza versus the world. And we can just take that hit, because we can take that twice. We have to start blocking this Death Dealer. Don't really want to play Urborg for our opponent, so they actually have to take damage. And he's going to Thoughtseize down to 4 and brick. I don't know why you would Thoughtseize there. It's like there's nothing I can really have. So we have Hornet Queen mana, so we'll just chump, go to 1. Siege Rhino's lethal, but it's going to be anyway. Oh no. It's a Siege Rhino. We died. We're going to draw Commune into Den Protector. So Commune, Den Protector, flip it. We have a mana open, probably get back Rhino. So we're going to be looking okay. And definitely like Self-Inflicted Wound here. Elspeth is great here. Lions and Commands are pretty reasonable as well. Bile Blights are good. Soul is not great. And then we could do some stuff like cut all the coursers and all the whips because of Dramoka's command. Not sure how I actually feel about that though. Games are kind of grindy, so Caryatid's not great. Even though we have a bunch of high-end stuff. I don't think I'm going to try and fade Dramoka's command. At least for this game. We didn't see any. We saw a Downfall, and that was about it. We also saw Mana Confluence and Warden, so it's pretty likely that it's closer to Boswell's list or even Owen's from the SSL. So this looks reasonable, although I could see Commands, Lion, Temple. Command is basically only good if we have a board presence. But maybe like putting counters on our stuff is like pretty relevant too. I don't know. I feel like I should board in the land since I have these 6s and 7s. And I'm siding out Caryatids. Probably just cut a Thoughtseize. Don't want a ton of those. I kind of want these Lions though too. Meow. Yeah, we'll just cut the other Thoughtseizes. Now most of my top decks are pretty live. And we have 2 removal spells and a Hornet Queen, which is fine. Certainly not great, but what are you going to do? Don't feel like I was supposed to lose that first game, although we did kind of play bad, so somewhat deserved loss, I suppose. Opponent plays a Death Dealer, that's going to die. We have a Courser, it's pretty nice. So I can't use this Heath. So I think I'm just going to downfall to use my mana better. Keep the cheaper 2-mana spell, even though it's a slightly worse removal spell. You can generally hit whatever you want with Self-Inflicted Wound, just because they don't often have a lot of creatures in play. So here's an Anafenza. And I suppose I should wound this before playing out something like a Death Misraptor. Painlands are kind of beating me up a little bit. Play that Heath so we have it for Courser next turn. And there's a Kitty Cat. Yeah, we have a Murderous Cut too, which is pretty nice. So I'm just going to play Courser. Hit the untapped land. There's an Urborg, which would be nice. Yeah, so I'll probably end up drawing this Urborg. We want our 7th land for Hornet Queen anyway. He's just going to Monstrous Fleece Mane right away, so that's kind of problematic. I still think we want this Urborg. We also kind of want the Wayfinder, but I don't know. I could play Raptor face down. And unless we get Thoughtseize, this Hornet Queen should do a lot of work. Should be able to just chump block enough times and fly over to kill him, because not a lot of these Abzan aggro decks play Bile anymore, so Hornet Queen is actually just pretty much game over against them. Oh no, black mana. Don't do it. Play a Death Dealer. Yes. Alright. So there's a temple. We don't really want that. Fetch forest, break even, free Llanowar wastes. Get the queen out there. Can't really attack this turn, unfortunately. But we have a pretty nice force. Little air force. And I'm probably going to have to block some stuff this turn, but I'm not sure I'm going to block. Maybe I just put the Morph on the Death Dealer. Oh, is this a command? No, it's another lion. That's okay. I'm pretty sure that Death Dealer is supposed to attack. I'm just going to take it because we have him on a two-turn clock in the air. We're still at 6. We're going to gain probably 2 life next turn off the coursers. So a couple Siege Rhinos is not that big of a concern, but now he might be commanding me. So post-combat, put a counter on my thing. That's kind of weird. I feel like you wanted me to sack an enchantment there. We have a Rhino on top. So we should be pretty golden. So attack with these thingies. We should just cut this Death Dealer right now, probably. Don't want to play the Wayfinder because I don't want to mill over the Siege Rhino. And I guess I should have kept the Heath open in case he had 2 removal spells, but... If he plays the first removal spell, I still don't think... Well, maybe I do sack the Heath. But then it's kind of weird, because then he can use the second one on just the Hornet Queen and stay alive. So, I don't know. Be a weird spot. But yeah, if he just went... Oh, even like... Dromoka's command won't do it, because if he goes fight and sack, I just sack the one that he's fighting. So yeah, he would need 2 removal spells, but if he had that... Then the Hornet Queen's not killing him in 2 hits anyway, so we even more want to keep the Rhino. I don't know. But if he untaps and just goes like, kill one of your Coursers, what do I do? Probably have to sack the Heath. And then I have to chump and then uses the other one on Hornet Queen. So then we'd be in a pretty bad spot. Regardless. And maybe we're just not even winning that game. This way, we're not dying to a Rhino, and the life he gains off Rhino is offsetted by ours. So, Hornet Queen doing some nice work. We do see a Dromoka's command, so maybe we have to change. Oh, that's weird. Why not just play Sorin and +1? Sorin +1 would have been a pretty big beating because he gains 10 life up to 16. Yeah, it's so weird. Oh well. Yeah. So, Dromoka's command made an appearance. Didn't seem to be in huge numbers. So, I could see wanting some Thoughtseizes on the draw. I could see cutting some Whips. Maybe some Coursers. And then once we do that, the commands don't really do a whole lot. Whip is kind of bad on the draw anyway, just because like we're going to have to be reacting to what they're doing. And I think we just want to trade 1-for-1, make our land drops, and hit these fatties. So Courser is still probably fine to keep in. I could see just having Caryatid though, so just having like more mana sources overall. I'll slide out one of these ugly Coursers. So yeah, don't have a super solid game plan here either. This hand's pretty similar to our last one, where it's like 2 things to trade 1-for-1 and a Hornet Queen. So, hey, it worked last time, right? We're short white mana, so there's our white mana, but I think we need some action first. Probably hit some white eventually, and we don't even have like a Rhino or a Lion quite yet, so it's not like we're in dire need, but we're probably gonna need to hit a white eventually. Yep, there it is. There's the Rhino. So we're going to Thoughtseize. Command, Wound, Rhino, Sorin. So Wound is not doing too much, neither is Command. Sorin is decent. Is dece. So we probably just take this Rhino and try and cut the Lion. Wound, Command, Sorin, Urborg. And there's a Heath. So I think we have to keep that. And it's actually pretty good since we get to cut the Lion next turn also. Basically the perfect card. So he doesn't have a lot of pressure. If he draws an untapped land, he'll be able to play Sorin, which would be kind of bad for us. We can play Rhino. It's going to get wounded, but we'll be net 1 life. Yep, there's the untapped land. So treading water here. Too many functionally dead cards in my hand. Too many lands. The 7-drop Hornet Queen. So there's a temple. We could use that, but I think it's better to just play Rhino, make him have to commit to using some mana next turn. And it's also better if he uses a removal spell this turn, because if say we scry and we draw into another Rhino, we play a Rhino and then he gets to use a removal spell, and then we're like a turn off of actually playing another thing. So this way, if we draw something good, he's even more on the back foot, which is good. Okay, so we brick. We hit a play set of Llanowar Wastes. Satyr Wayfinder is not really what we want. I don't think it's high impact enough. Really need like a Den Protector or something. Now that we have a Temple of Silence, Elspeth would be okay if he made. It'd be bad if he made another vampire, but he didn't do that. Might just end up getting killed this game. Yeah, there's another threat. And another threat. Oh, well, there's Den Protector. Maybe we can live. But you could, like, flip up Den Protector, +1. Get back Rhino. So, yeah, we're just dead. So if we had another turn, we would have been okay. Also, it would have been nice if we had a Wayfinder for his self-inflicted wound, but what are you going to do? Still a chance he messes up and gets back like a lion or something, but if he targets the Siege Rhino, I will concede. Nope, he Dramoka's commanded. That's kind of weird. Alright, maybe your Morph is not a Den Protector. Play Siege Rhino, but that doesn't really help. So I think we just have to jam Hornet Queen, and if he Den Protector's Rhino, that's game. He didn't flip it this time. Maybe it's just a Raptor. Maybe it's a Raptor, and maybe we have a chance. That would be a pleasant surprise. Okay. Squad coming. Have to chump block his Lion. And at this point, what the hell is his Morph? A Hidden Dragon Slayer? Raptor should have attacked there. Alright, there's an Elspeth. So we attack a Sorin with these two. We need to keep a B back. In case he just takes it and then has the vampire. I would expect him to trade here and keep his Sorin. But then Sorin goes down to 2, and if he makes a vampire, he's kind of screwed. So, I don't know, man. If this is Den Protector, I'm dead 7 different ways. So I think it's just better to play Elspeth. Obviously, we have to fade a Rhino top deck, but playing Rhino with Insect, I think we're like pretty bad off if he draws something anyway. It was a Den Protector. Why didn't he kill me 7 turns ago? Got back Dramoka's command? Okay, I don't get it. I don't understand. Den Protector would have killed me the last 2 turns, so that's weird. So if I play Rhino, I go up to 6, and I can put B on Fleecemane, and Rhino can always block the Den Protector. I don't know, maybe I actually could have won if I just played Rhino, depending on what he draws, but yeah, pretty weird. Oh well.